You guys know with everything going on at this time of year, we need dinners and we need it fast. Let's start this video with a recipe that comes together so quickly, and it's one of those hearty things that your family is just really gonna enjoy. It's beef and shells, and I know my kids eat this one up. Dinner actually does not require me to do any chopping, so we're starting at the other side of the kitchen. I've got everything already set up. I'm gonna start this recipe with just a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of my pan. I also have a pot of boiling water back here on the stove, and that's gonna be for our shells pasta. I have this beef right here. It is just regular ground beef. This is 1 pound. It's 85.15. So we're gonna put this in a pan and just get it cooked up. I am gonna take some shells and add them to my boiling water. I'm gonna use half of this, which is 1 box. And I am taking it out with a slotted spoon, just so that I can make sure that I drain off this excess fat. I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic to my pan, roughly, I don't know, we'll say about 2 cloves or so. And we'll just cook that for just a minute or so and start to add in everything else. I'm gonna whisk in 2 tablespoons of flour. If you had onion in the pan, this would just coat your onion. It'll look a little different. I'm gonna add about 1 cup of bone broth. You can use beef stock or beef broth if you prefer. We're gonna whisk that in slowly so that we can get that combined with the flour and the garlic. I also have this leftover marinara sauce, so it's not quite a whole can, but it's pretty close. So we're gonna go ahead and whisk that in. If you were doing this, you probably just wanna go ahead and use a whole can. Now to this, we're gonna add about 1/2 to a full teaspoon of Italian seasoning, parsley, oregano, and paprika. Okay, now we're gonna mix all of that together, continuing to make the sauce. It smells really delicious. You're supposed to bring it to a boil and then just let it reduce by about half so that you have a thicker sauce. And mine is already like that. I'm gonna add in the heavy cream now. I'm adding about 3/4 a cup of heavy cream. If your sauce didn't thicken up, just let it boil for a couple of minutes while you stir, and it'll thicken up pretty quickly because of that flour in there. I'm gonna add back in the beef and stir that all together. We do need to add in about 1/4 cup of sour cream. And in our case, we're using Greek yogurt. You guys know we like to sub sour cream with Greek yogurt. I'm gonna toss in the pasta. We have some cheddar cheese here, just about under 1 cup. We're gonna toss this in as well, mix that all together, and it's ready to serve. Here is tonight's dinner. We've got the creamy beef and shells, and I topped it with a little bit of parsley, mainly for color. If you're in a place where you feel like coming up with different meal ideas is really difficult and you're kind of eating the same thing over and over, you need to check out HelloFresh. I'm telling you, it's gonna get so much inspiration to your family. You're gonna be trying new foods and it is not gonna be boring. You are really gonna love this. Today's video is kindly sponsored by HelloFresh. One thing that I love about HelloFresh is that you get different ingredients than what you might normally add into your weekly menu. So you're gonna get things and combine these flavors. You're learning more about flavor profiles. You're learning more about things that fit together. It is effortless to do this. They provide you with a sheet that has step-by-step instructions that's gonna make it so effortless and so easy to put this meal together. And on top of the step-by-step instructions, you're getting the ingredients needed to make this meal happen. One of my personal favorite things about HelloFresh is the fact that my kids can really get involved. And I'm not just talking about them coming over to the stovetop and stirring something for me. All the ingredients are laid out on the counter and they can actually walk through the majority of these steps and do it themselves. So it's also really helping our family come together and my kids learn how to make different kinds of meals. There are so many ways to customize these boxes. You've got vegetarian, you've got pescatarian, you've got meat and veggies, you've got diet restricted. Go to their website, you can find all the different things that might fit with your family's dietary needs. Not only is HelloFresh delicious and it's effortless, it's gonna save you time because you're not having to go to the grocery store for these ingredients and you get the step-by-step instructions. It's also gonna help you meet your goals. I'm gonna have a link in my description box, but you want to head to HelloFresh.com, type in the code BYRDS16, and you are gonna get 16 free meals plus 3 free gifts over the course of 7 boxes, y'all. 16 free meals. In this day and age, free meals means a whole lot. So head to my description box, check out the website, use my code BYRDS16, and you're gonna get those 16 free meals. Let me give you guys a quick tip on how we used our most recent HelloFresh box. We actually had it sent to the place where we were staying on vacation, which meant we did not have to go to the grocery store for any dinner items. It made dinner so convenient and easy on vacation. Another 20-minute dinner coming at you. This is really, really easy. And it doesn't require a lot of ingredients, but it looks so beautiful when it's done. So I went ahead and took 2 pretty large chicken breasts. I cut them in half this way, like you guys know I like to do. That's gonna help them cook up faster too. So that's a little trick to keep this under that 20-minute mark. Now, you can absolutely use salt and pepper if you want to. I'm gonna be using our Auntie Nono's Everything seasoning. So we're just going to put a little bit of this on here. Like I said, this is replacing salt and pepper for this recipe. And I like to add a little bit of oregano to this as well. Okay, now I'm gonna flip it, because I'm gonna season the other side of these as well. So to go with dinner tonight, we're having marinated cucumbers and tomato. I have a recipe for that. I've made it here on my channel before. I'll put a link right here so you guys can see it. We have this probably 2 times a week, not exaggerating. That's it as far as this part goes. We're gonna take this over to the stove and get that heating up. Okay, this oil is nice and hot. I got a little distracted. It might be a little too hot, so I just turned that temp down just a little bit. Okay, let's get these pieces of chicken in there and get a good sear on them. Because we sliced them really thin, they're only taking about 3 to 4 minutes each side. We just wanna make sure we get good color. So you see that beautiful color on there. So I check them and then flip them once I see that color. I have this fresh sliced mozzarella cheese. It's already pre-sliced, which is really convenient. We're gonna take some of this and lay it on top of the chicken. The chicken is fully cooked through now. On top of that, we're gonna put some tomato. Okay, I'm gonna put a lid on just for a minute, or just set a lid on just so that cheese can melt. It's literally just for 1 minute. I have some basil here that I just cut up. 1, and then because this is a 20-minute meal and I was saving time, I actually bought a balsamic reduction rather than making it. Now we're just gonna take that reduction and it just goes all over the top. Another thing that you can do is marinate your chicken in balsamic vinegar overnight, and that's delicious as well. We're serving from the table tonight, so I'm just gonna take a little bite of one of these. That way I can taste it for you guys. I love these flavors. I love caprese anyway, but that chicken has a really nice flavor on it because we sauteed it, and that's really important. If you wanna get good flavor on your chicken, saute it first. Even if you cook it another way after, unless you're grilling it, that's a whole separate situation. But with that seasoning on it, and then you get that little bit of cheese and tomato, the balsamic vinegar, it's so good. It's very, very good. If you like caprese salad, you're gonna love this chicken. Okay, so we've got these green peppers and we are just going to dice these up. Okay, you just dice them up into whatever size you would like them to be. And I'm just gonna toss them right here into this baking dish. So this is me kind of like taking a recipe that is stuffed peppers and turning it into a casserole. You add whatever kind of flavors you like in a recipe like this. It does not have to be exactly like I'm doing it. Okay, friends, you are going to see a very similar recipe to this in this video right here. It is a freezer meals video where I made stuffed peppers. I like to get 2 meals out of this because the meat mixture makes a lot. And you can definitely decrease the size of the meat mixture, but for me, if I'm food prepping, I might as well prep more than one thing. All right, I am going to just drizzle a little bit of olive oil here. I'm gonna use our favorite Auntie Nono's Everything seasoning. If you do not have this, I have a code in my description box that gets you 25% off and free shipping. We love this stuff. I have an unopened bottle in my pantry right now for when this one runs out. All right, we're just gonna mix this around. So this is coating the bottom of my pan in oil so stuff doesn't stick, and it's also coating my peppers with oil. Starting with a pound of just ground beef. Also last night, just to prep for this recipe, I made up some rice. So this is 1 cup of uncooked rice, so it's probably around 2 cups or so. I'm gonna go ahead and add all of it in. I've actually made this before where I didn't cook the rice first and it was totally fine, but I had everything out and ready to go last night, so it just made sense to go ahead and take care of it. I'm gonna add in this can of diced tomatoes. I am gonna drain this just a little bit. We don't need all of the juices in there. Oh, I also wanted to say, if you are making this with uncooked rice, you need to leave the juices in the can. We just don't need to do that because I've already cooked the rice. Now we need to add in some spices for really good flavor. I'm starting with a little bit of paprika, probably about a teaspoon or so. Let's toss that in. We're also gonna add a teaspoon of chili powder. Again, this is one of those things, you add as much or as little as you like. And we're gonna do about a ½ teaspoon of onion powder. You can definitely add onions into yours if that's what you prefer. Also need to add in about a teaspoon of salt. And we've already got our rice and our beef in there, so we can just mix this together. Now, we are gonna take this mixture and we're just gonna put it all over the top here. Kind of like an even layer, but it doesn't have to be perfect by any means. Kind of smooth it just a bit. Okay, you are gonna take some tomatoes, some tomato sauce, some tomato, not puree, what's the word I'm looking for? Crushed tomatoes, anything you want, just a little bit. Just pour it over the top a little bit, just to give it some liquid here. You can do as much or as little as you want, obviously, you guys know. I say that all the time. And this should be no surprise, we're gonna top it with a little bit of cheese and use whatever kind of cheese you like. Mozzarella would be great. You use whatever flavors you enjoy, whatever cheese you enjoy, whatever meats you enjoy, just roll with it. How easy is this? We're gonna bake this on 350 covered for maybe like 30 minutes. Take the foil off and bake for another 10 or so. Really easy to do. All right, we're gonna give this casserole a try. Make sure all the flavors are really good before we sit down to eat. So I've got a nice good bite here. It is loaded with flavor. Very, very good. And you guys saw, this was so easy to make. You could definitely do a mozzarella cheese or something like that, but I do feel like that Kerrygold cheese that we love so much just adds really great flavor. You guys are gonna like this one. And I hope that you enjoyed these. Don't forget to check out HelloFresh in my description box. If you need more inspiration, I've got it for you. Check out this video right here. You're gonna get tons more inspiration. And you can always go to my channel homepage and you can get a lot more inspiration. All different kinds of recipes here available for you. I hope you're having a great week. Our verse today comes from 1 Corinthians 16:13. Be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong.